Hello guys, and everything goes according to the plan. But not the plan of the dictator Putin, the plan of Ukrainian people. And with each day we see more and more problems, chaos and sabotage actions inside the Russian Federation, which definitely leads to the escalation of that political atmosphere. And today we will continue our geography lessons where we discover more about locations inside Russia based on various explosions and destructions of military objects there. But our today's lesson will be more elegant, as these are not simple explosions or fires, but very well developed intelligence operations. And number one is the liquidation of the Russian colonel in Moscow region, really close to the heart of the evil empire. And this colonel was responsible for the organization and development of a really big center of unmanned aviation, drones of Shahed-type, kamikaze drones. And there is evidence that he and his people were responsible for a number of war crimes inside Ukraine. Another operation took place in Samara, quite far away from Ukrainian borders, and a railway was destroyed in the result of an explosion of the unknown object. Most likely these were not drones, but a sabotage group worked. So let's discuss all of these operations and why they are so important for the defeat of Russia. My name is Anna, I'm from Ukraine, I'm in Ukraine, and if you want to see Russia defeated, subscribe. I am sure we will discuss that on the channel sometime soon, with some very precious and interesting details. And let's start with this operation in Moscow region. It is actually good when something important happens close to the Kremlin, because this sends a message to Russian commanders, to Russian population, and to Putin himself. So in the result of this intelligence operation, a Russian colonel was neutralized, and he is the one responsible for the organization of a big unmanned aviation center where Russian soldiers were training how to operate kamikaze drones and how to commit war crimes in Ukraine. For example, today a Russian drone killed a judge in Kharkiv region of Supreme Court who was actually bringing humanitarian aid to the families close to the front lines. This is a very vivid war crime, and with fewer Russian colonels, there will be fewer crimes. What is also important, this message that Russian army receives, that for every war crime, there will be a punishment. With modern technologies, with modern surveillance, it is possible to identify them. And it's extremely important for them to get what they deserve, starting from Putin and finishing with every person that was driving tanks, targeting civilian objects, missiles on them, because we all know very well unpunished evil grows and punished evil disappears. This is exactly what happened in Moscow region. Once again, to those kind people watching these videos, every Russian soldier has a choice to cross or not to cross the border. And the moment they cross the border of free and independent Ukraine, they actually commit a war crime. If they want to fight for something, believe me, there are lots of things to fight for inside Russia, like freedom, respect to human life, and they can actually concentrate their attention on the Kremlin, for example. What is also good, that more and more people understand that even inside Russia, hopefully. That's why sabotage is happening. Subscribe to get more of such news, and please share these videos on those social media platforms that you follow, because unfortunately there are too many Russian fakes around us and they do spoil our lives and make more troubles. This is actually a kind of a hybrid war. So another intelligence operation, sabotage operation, took place in Samara region that is very far away from the Ukrainian border. What is interesting, Samara was a closed city back in the Soviet times. I don't know if you have something similar in your countries, but in the Soviet Union, these were cities that are full of various military objects, in particular plants and factories, and people could not visit it freely. Even if you have your relatives there, you have to get a special permit. And all over the Soviet Union, there were many of such cities, well, not that many, and Samara was one of them, proving the fact that right now Russian Federation is not able to develop new plants or factories, and they use old ones. And Samara is one of such centers where they can produce lots of evil tools that they later use to destroy Ukrainian infrastructure and people, thus paralyzing their railway, especially in the moment when a cargo trip was crossing a bridge, is important. This saves lives, this slows down Russian logistics, and helps us in our main mission. And this main mission is to defeat and demilitarize Russia. That is actually the only way to end this war. Stop thinking about appeasement, stop thinking about pauses. Nobody wants that in Ukraine. The only way to win and return back to normal living is to defeat and to demilitarize Russia. And I'm really glad that more and more of special intelligence operations are happening inside the Russian Federation, because first of all, this makes our territory safer, and second, this is a very clear message to the Russian population. You have to start demanding the end of this war. And what we do is only return it back to sender. Russia now starts to feel what is war, because it's actually easy to reason about it or to support military actions when it is just something happening on TV. And during this year, the Ukrainian armed forces achieved a lot when they actually neutralized a lot of Russian ammunition depots, a lot of Russian oil refineries, military airfields, and now lots of Russian settlements are actually under the control of our army. This is something that seemed totally unbelievable at the very start of the invasion, when many, even of our best friends, among the countries, thought that Ukraine will surrender. So finally, trust us, believe in us, let Ukraine strike back, and we will make this world a safer place. And this is possible only after the complete defeat of the Kremlin. Please share the video if you agree with me. Subscribe to my Instagram. There are some interesting things, especially about our drones that we delivered yesterday in Kyiv, and today they are already working on the front lines in Kharkiv region. And there is one message that YouTube will not allow, but you can definitely find it on my Instagram. The link is in the description of this video, same as my links to X, Threads, and Discord. Check our merch shop for lots of good items that work well as reminders and conversation starters about Ukraine, and subscribe to see Russia defeated. Thank you for buying me coffees, becoming my sponsors and patrons of the channel, but most importantly, thank you for standing with Ukraine. I love you. Slava Ukraini, and greetings from Kyiv.